Hi, this is Atya here. Welcome to PhDpreneur, where we discuss PhD life and everything in between. I know I've done a PhD related video after quite a while. I think I should make more of it. I got requests related to NET exams, English speaking, communication, so I made videos on that. But I'm back. We will be kickstarting PhD content again. Whenever I see PhD students taking admission, sometimes they are not well informed. They have certain myths or certain beliefs about PhD which may or may not be true. So here I am going to tell you about 10 such beliefs. If you are a PhD student, you will resonate with it. If you are not, then it will be helpful, and I would appreciate if you could share this with somebody who is planning to take admission for PhD or who is struggling to survive in their PhDs. So without further ado, let's begin with today's video. Often this myth is there is that if you become a doctor, you will get into academia easily. PhD is sufficient. It may be true in some cases, but I believe whatever skill set that you acquire during PhD, that plays an equal role as your publication. Because sometimes what happens, you outsource certain things like writing a paper and the paper gets published, but that skill set you have not acquired. Then you face problems in your job. I have actually seen PhD students who have got very good publications, who have finished their degrees in time as per the societal standards, but they have not secured a very good position in their jobs. It's not just how many papers you published, but in what kind of journals with what impact factor. That also matters, because there is competition outside. If I'm taking an interview for a job, with me there are two candidates, master's candidate and PhD candidate. I will give a preference to a PhD candidate, but if there are two PhD candidates with a similar profile, then I will go to see what is the skill set that they have acquired. PhD is kind of mandatory when it comes to higher education. So parallelly work on your skill set, not just get restricted to your PhD. The second one is that the PhD is always depressing. The students are always depressed. Most of the frustration and anxiety that PhD students face, it comes from the fact that the path which is there is a new path. It's not like your master's, graduation or your school curriculum. The course is laid down, this you have to study, and you will be asked questions on that. Whenever there is any kind of uncertainty, that means there is anxiety, that means there is tension, because you don't know how things will work out. You don't know whom to ask for help, and if you ask for help also whether you will get that help. So these are some of the things that do affect the mental health. Awareness about mental health is quite less for various reasons. I will make a separate video on that. PhD students do have holidays. PhD students do have the freedom and the flexibility. The core feature of a PhD program is its flexibility. You need not work 9 to 5. I have seen some scholars finishing their work till 6 p.m. They start at 6 p.m. and then they will go till midnight. So it is not that if you are enrolling for PhD means you are signing up for depression. For that, first we will have to define what is genius. Being genius does not mean getting a high grade. This is the societal definition, what we have set as a society, the standard for somebody to be genius. Academics is just one part of it. I could go on and on about this. Let's stick to today's topic. So you need not clear high-level entrance exams. You need not be a gold medalist to pursue PhD. It's not required. Whatever is the basic criteria for doing PhD, that will be mentioned on the website of the institute. Entrance exams are good to have. It's not mandatory. I have made several videos about how to get admission to PhD, so you might want to have a look. Secondly, the two things that are important, the ability to have patience and the ability to stay positive during that time where you are patient. These are two different things. Because of the nature of work, you may have to slow down a little bit, but it's important that you don't get frustrated during. Those who get into academics are students or are candidates who have done their PhDs, but PhD can offer you much more than that. It helps you with your collaborative skills, with your communication skills, troubleshooting, and what to do when things go wrong at the nth moment. A PhD can be good in business also. Whenever it comes to sales or any kind of plan, then you need to create a plan where nobody else has done that before. Receiving feedback, which is normally a part and parcel of any business life. In industry, the work conditions sometimes are more stringent than academia. So a PhD helps with all that. So now I have seen so many careers coming up like science communication, science writing, popular stories writing. You can chart your own path. Sometimes the reason for PhD may not be getting into academics, but to build on your skill set. So that is also there. I believe that a PhD should be improvisation on previous methods, on previous work, rather than inventing or discovery. It gets so much pressure on the PhD students to do something very novel. Even if you follow the same procedure that previously has been followed, but you make 1% improvement in it and you publish it, that is also a contribution. Even a little drop in the ocean, it counts. This is what I've seen. Usually after PhD, if you go into an industry or you start a business, it makes more money as compared to if you are strictly in the academia. It's a comfortable income. Just because a person has done PhD does not mean he will earn money like this. It doesn't work that way. Academia or business or any kind of other territory, it will depend on the position. It will depend on the industry. Not necessary. What is more important is your supervisor. Good schools have better visibility. Their marketing strategies are good. You may or may not have the right kind of people that are fit for you. A person may be very highly accomplished and he may be your potential supervisor from a very renowned institute, but he may not have the time to guide you. At the end of the day, what contribution you put into your PhD does not matter on institute, does not matter on anything else. It depends on you. By itself, a PhD is not expensive. The tuition fees are less. Where the cost becomes more is if, say, suppose your lab or the facility you are working in does not have the supply of materials and the resources, then sometimes you will have to put your own money. But usually contingency is there, but definitely tuition fees are not the way you pay for other courses. It is much lesser. You have to be careful with money. In fact, I would say PhDs have more time than anything else because of the flexible work hours. It is not necessary that just because you have enrolled for PhD 24/7, you have to eat, drink and sleep in the lab only. It is not required. You can work in several institutes based on your works. I've seen some scholars waiting for their PhDs to get completed and then starting their families, making the move with respect to marriage, relationships or anything. I have a different opinion. The journey is a little bit lonely. The relationships that you have, your family support is important. If not friends, then some kind of social support is important, or you will get frustrated. Just because it is a PhD does not mean you have to put your life separate and work. It will just lead to confusion and burnout. Usually PhD is slow. You may have the talent, you may be a gold medalist, but at the end of the day, how you work will depend on circumstances that are there around you. I was just going through one of the Facebook groups. One of the questions that was asked was how to stay motivated during PhD. I'm thinking of doing a video on that. So if you have suggestions or questions related to anything, you will You can leave it in the comment section below. See you in the next video.